When we look at the situation as it stands today, I think the reality is that first and foremost, the genocide is ongoing. It continues to keep going. The Palestinians are being slaughtered by the Zionists in a brazen genocide. But I think that the Zionists are no longer having an easy ride in the way that they used to have it. Netanyahu yesterday lashed out at his allies in the UK, France, and these other countries that are coming out and threatening sanctions. We're seeing now that Zionists that used to have an easy ride in the Congress are struggling to pass bills in favor of the Israelis. One of the most prominent of those is 2 weeks ago, there was a bill proposed in Congress to ban boycott of Israel that threatened to fine anybody boycotting Israel with $1 million plus jail time. And the irony is that it was actually pulled and campaigned against by one of the most unlikely figures, a lady called Marjorie Taylor Greene. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, I was with a friend of mine, Sean King, and he said to me, Sami, you need to understand, she's the representative of one of the most racist areas in Georgia, an area where we as African Americans were told, don't go anywhere near Rome where she is. And not only did she campaign against the bill, she came out and said, why are we bombing Houthis? I don't even know who the Houthis are. I've never seen a Houthi. I don't know where they are. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the Houthi name correctly. Suggesting a movement, at least amongst the base of Donald Trump, that Zionism, support for Zionism is no longer a given. And there's a reason why that's happening. The reason why it's happening is that there is a movement that has been consistent and persistent in terms of exposing what is happening. Today, this morning, I don't know if many of you saw, Axios is reporting that Donald Trump has told Netanyahu that he needs to wrap this up quickly. But the reason is not because he cares about the Palestinians. The reason Trump has stated, or his White House officials have stated, is my base is seeing images they've never seen before. They're seeing videos they've never seen before, and it's causing me a problem. It's causing me a headache amongst our base. I want to pose the question here. Where are they getting the videos from? Where are they getting the images from? Where are they getting the information from? Who is feeding them that information that is resulting in a crack in the relationship between the White House and the Israelis? They're hearing a da'wah, they're hearing a voice, they're hearing people talk about the Palestinian issue in such a way whereby now you have people who were never pro-Palestinian before now coming out and saying, Mr. President, Americans, you need to hear this. We have to pay for healthcare. They don't have to pay for healthcare. And when we are being taken off Medicare and off Medicaid, we're still giving billions to the Zionists to do what they want. Now, just to appreciate the gravity of this, because me and Junaid, who came from the UK as well, childhood friend of mine, we grew up in the UK. And I know it's very, very hard to believe, but I want to explain to them what it's like for us, Junaid, mashallah, in the UK, where if I wake up in the morning and I go like that, I can be like, oh my goodness, and my wife, Salma, will say, why'd you look so shocked? I'm like, I don't know, that cough felt a bit, you know, I'm gonna go to the doctor and I'm going to go and check. She's like, why are you going to the doctor for? Like, what do you mean? I'm going to make sure I'm just okay. So I book an appointment with the doctor, guys. It's true, I book an appointment and I go to see the doctor. And the doctor tells me, why are you here? And I tell him, doctor, I coughed. And he said, what do you mean you coughed? I said, I coughed like this. And he says, so what? I told him I searched on Sheikh Google, I might have cancer. Like, I need to make sure I'm okay. And he'll say in New York terms, get out of here, forget about it, you know, like get out. And I leave with my heart at ease. Now, I know in America, this is very difficult to believe, very, very difficult. Because in 2018, when I was in North Carolina, there was a guy who vomited in the car. And when we told him to go see a doctor, him and his friends went, no, don't call anybody, don't call an ambulance. We told him, what's wrong? He vomited again, probably from the suggestion. And no, don't call him. Americans are beginning to ask themselves a question. Why is it that I am struggling with my medical bills while the Zionists are getting a free ride? Why am I struggling with homelessness while they're getting a free ride? But there's a reason why there's a shift that is taking place that's being manifested in policy. It is that there is a relentless stream on the BBC, no, not on the BBC. There's a relentless stream on CNN, no, not CNN. There's a relentless stream on Fox News, not Fox News, Sami, come on. There's a relentless stream on New York Times, not New York Times, or what is it? There's a relentless stream on the Wall Street, not the Wall Street Journal. There's a relentless stream on TikTok. May Allah bless and preserve TikTok and elevate its status for this ummah in khair and barakah. Gulu ameen. May Allah guide its Singaporean CEO and may Allah guide the Congress people to believe that Singapore truly is not near China, that it's very far from China, that there's it's at least a 7 or 8 hour flight from China to Singapore. May Allah guide these Congress people to understand geography.
You just affirmed the accusation that mass is funded by China. Like, it's not helping.
China. And anyway, The reason why I mentioned this, as a result of TikTok, I said it semi as a joke, but in reality, I mean it in the full meaning of the word. As a result of TikTok, it's now the American population are seeing the reality directly of what's happening in Palestine. And because they continue to see it, because the reality is, I was sitting with a friend yesterday, and he said to me, Sami, what's the point of these protests if at the end of the day, the policymakers are ignoring it? If we keep doing it, they can just keep ignoring us. And this is a twisted logic. If you do one big protest and never do a protest again, that's easy to ignore. It was a one-off. But when you're doing it consistently, when a few days ago, 100,000 of Dutch in Netherlands go out and protest in front of The Hague demanding that Netanyahu be dragged into the courts. When you've got hundreds of thousands in London, even now, almost 2 years into the genocide, they're still protesting. Keir Starmer turns around and says, I don't get it, they won't go home. I don't get it, they won't be quiet. I don't get it, they don't seem to be forgetting the issue. So the day after the protest, he summons the Israeli ambassador at last, cancels the free trade discussions taking place, and threatens sanctions on top. And Andrew Marr says, this is Andrew Marr, wa ma adraka ma Andrew Marr. Andrew Marr, for those who don't know, because he's from His Majesty's Kingdom, and His Majesty's Kingdom sends their salam to the colonies of America. I'm joking. I'm joking. Andrew Marr came out yesterday and said, unprecedented language is now being used by the British government in relation to the Israelis. Some of you here might be thinking that I'm exaggerating the importance of these words, that somehow I'm trying to make you guys feel better. But I wanna, because I'm aware there's a lot of questions, I wanna finish my initial introduction here with this point. I'm aware that some of you feel tired, right? Some of you are feeling a bit tired, a bit frustrated, a bit fatigued. But I wanna show you a video. Me and Junaid were talking about how Manchester United lost to Tottenham in the Europa League final. And he's a Man United fan, wa'iyadhu billah, may Allah guide him. But there is what made us shush, both of us in the car, was this video. That I want you, those Arabs, you will understand it, and then I'll explain it to the people who can't speak Arabic. This boy is probably no more than 8 years old, standing over the corpse of his father, telling his father, Baba, hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Baba, we'll meet in Jannah, inshallah. Baba, we'll meet each other in Jannah. May Allah have mercy on you, my dad. May Allah have mercy on you, my dad. Ya Baba, we will meet each other in Jannah. We will meet each other in Jannah. Now, the reason why I get really enraged by the suggestion that somehow we're feeling fatigued is because it's a fatigue that takes place in luxury. What you're saying is, you're saying that this is getting boring, getting up off my chair and going out and protesting. Da'wah is getting boring, getting off my chair and going out in the middle of New York to protest and say that the Palestinians deserve right. That I'm getting bored sitting there and going out and boycotting and the like. That this is a boring thing. There must be a more effective way to do it. You have the luxury to contemplate what works, what doesn't work. In a way that boy doesn't. That boy lost his father, doesn't have the luxury to say whether I choose to do this or whether I choose to do that. Whereas you have the luxury to decide how you want to protest, how you want to boycott, how you want to move. You have the luxury to decide, as if you're shopping in Walmart. Today I feel like protesting. Today I don't feel like protesting. I feel when all this Palestinian is begging you to do is to keep going, keep raising our voices, keep telling people about us. Don't let people forget us. Don't let people feel like this can be normalized. Don't let people go through a day without mentioning the killing that they're doing to us. Don't let people forget us. When they drink their coffee, let them remember us while they're drinking the coffee. Make it so that it's incessantly in their faces until they choose to do something. The Palestinian boy stands there next to his father's soul. He says, Ya Baba will meet in Jannah, Ya Baba will meet in Jannah.